12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
You're listening to Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof on Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof on Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. Put the shades on here. This is just not a good day for the eyeballs. That's right. We're just doing it straight up. We are not using the green screen tonight, so we are in full glory. So welcome to the show. It is Monday, March 1st. 2 months down, 10 months to go. Any predictions? Anybody got any predictions? Knowledge 888 and Lori Oliphant super stickering me. Knowledge with 888 99-cent super sticker and a $5 super chat super sticker from Lori Oliphant. Thank you both very much. And I am changing the rules, the way I announce the super chats and stickers. I'll still do them, but I'm going to finish my thought before I get to them. interrupting my thought. I do it on purpose because I don't want to forget, but I'll have to work it out because Knowledge 888 proved a point to me. And last week we had a part of the show where it was just super chat, super chat, super chat. And we spent like a good amount of time just shouting out super chats, which I love doing. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. Like you don't understand, but maybe you do. I don't know. But I appreciate it. And I won't stop. It's just, it won't be immediate. It'll be when I'm done with the thought or subject. So thank you very much for that super chat, super stickers, Knowledge 888, Super Generoso as well. We got to get that there. Yeah, yep. So the name change is still in the work. It may happen, it may not. I'm on the fence today. I'm on the fence. Whereas the name I wanted to use did not sound the same after a few days. You know what I mean? I want to love the name every time I look at it. And when it's all said and done, it may just be Goof On. Look, Goof On's not as bad as I thought. Now, the reason I didn't like it, it's because of the goof part. And it all started 10, 12 years ago when I had the AZ UFO show. And I said, we need to change the name of this show. I don't want to just talk about UFOs. I want to talk about everything. And I said, well, why don't I come up with the name like MUFON or something? I go, I could be Goof On, like Giordano's, my last name, UFO Network. And I said, Goof On. That's funny. No, that won't work. And that's what I said. And I said, we can't do it, can't use it. Never went to it. And then a decade later, a few years ago, William Pattison, a good friend of the show, made a group or a page or changed something. I don't know what he did on Facebook, but he created Goof On. And he said, Rich, remember this? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And people were saying, oh, that's funny. That's great. And I'm like, funny? No. But I guess it's my own fault because, you know, I instill a lot of humor into the things we talk about here. At least I think it's funny. But other than that, I changed at the time I had the paranormal code, which by the way, isn't a bad name either, but I didn't want to use the word paranormal as much. So I went to Goof On, and that's why we have the name. And I changed it here on YouTube, and that became the official name for the relaunch of this show. Now here I am a little bit later. That's okay, Misty. Now here we are, you know, some 18 months later, and I don't know. I hear people announce me on their show. We got Rich from Goof On here, and I'm like, ugh. Maybe it's just me. So right now, there's two names that are the front runners. One I came up with today. The other one, who came up with it? It wasn't me. I don't remember, but maybe it was Michael, DHP. But I don't remember who told me, and I'm sorry if you're here and I'm not getting your name out there. But anyway, that's where we're at with the name. It won't happen for at least a month. If I relaunch, it would be April 1st. And I'm not sure I'm going to change Goof On. It's a lot of work. You got to change the logo. You got to change the banner. You got to change the email, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook. Well, maybe we'll just keep Goof On. I've seen a few super stickers come through here. Super Chats Knowledge 888 with a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you very much again with the Generoso. And also, B. Stromsnes. B. Stromsnes. Freaking A. I hope I'm not ruining your name, but that's a $22 super chat right there. So thank you very much, Super Generoso. I like the lightning bolt UFO effect. Very cool. Thank you very much. That is Super Generoso as well. Guys are crazy. And I do not want to hear any birthday talk, nothing like that. I don't want to hear it. I'm too old for birthdays. Where's FAP? And Knowledge 888 with the other $1.49 super sticker. Thank you guys for boosting the show. That all goes right back into the kitty. Goes right back into that machine right there. That's just at a site. And Knowledge again with the super sticker for 99 cents. What are you going to do? Every 2 minutes? Every 2 minutes? It's going to be $120 tonight if you keep that up. Stop. It's okay. You don't have. Do it all at once. Just imagine every 2 minutes and then just put it all up. I'm joking with you. I don't care. I love it. I knew you were going to do it. How did I know you were going to do that? Well, thank you again. A super sticker. I can't. I am using Spreaker. What did I just say? Spreaker? What the fuck? I said Spreaker. That is so bizarre. I am looking for the show. Oh, yeah, there I am. Look at that's it. 5-second delay. So we have a 5-second delay tonight. I'm waiting for that is a birthday cake. Okay, very cool. Very cool. All right, now let's keep our wits together. Hey, Magnolia V12 with the $2 super sticker. It's a pair that says, "Hey you." Hey you. One time I called my mother and I go, "Hey." She goes, "I'm not hey." And I started laughing. I go, "You're not hey?" I got in trouble. And Knowledge 888 with another $5. Oh, that's interesting. It's a pink-haired female super sticker bodybuilder kissing her own bicep by making a flex, like, "Rrr." Or either that or it's Bobby Valentine or Mr. Beautiful or Gorgeous, whatever. Renee Cruz in. Hold on. We got to take a sip here, a little dry mouth. I have to. You guys ready? Yeah, I could say hello. IR Film, welcome to the show. Grandmaster UV, welcome to the show. Be Serious, welcome to the show. Cool name. Alien Girl, 1 with the $1.99 super chat that says, "Keep goof on." Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. But thank you for the super generoso $1.99 super chat. You guys are great. Like, unfreaking believable. Yes, I am wearing a New York Mets jersey. The only jersey, no, it's not a jersey, it's a shirt. But I wear Dodgers, Yankees. No, yeah, Yankees, Mets, Coyotes, Diamondbacks. I do not wear Phoenix Suns. I just don't have any. And I like the colors. I mean, it's similar to this. Yeah, orange is my favorite. This is my favorite combination of colors. Yeah, this is the only hat I found that was close. All right, I know. Let's get on with the Frapsap. Betty Double Kick Chick, welcome to the show. Joe Monk, howdy doody. Fresh and fruity. Felicia Flores, hi, sweetie, to you too. Coral Ann in the TV said she went back in the TV looking for her soul. So we'll continue with that story on the next episode of Coral Ann in the TV set. Welcome, Coral Ann. Coral on. Coral on! It's dinner time. John Sports Cards. It's not my birthday, but thank you anyway. I'll take it. It's coming up, but this is the last day we ever talk about it. There is no birthday wishes after nothing. Lisa Marie, not Presley. Welcome to the show. JP Besson. Sir Wolf 67. What's up, both of yous? Yeah, I know. Sir Wolf 67. USA other legal audits. I thought it was issues. Damian Smokey. What's up? Long Island Bigfoot. Where is Baby Biggs? We never see any Baby Biggs. Be Serious, IR Film. I know I saw Lee's here, Renee Cruz, First Floor Audio. Just hanging out. Cool. Good to see you, man. Knowledge 888, of course. A $5 super sticker. Did I miss this one? I don't know how I missed that. I thought I said it. Lori Olifant, thank you very much. Brandon Smith, thank you very much for showing up, hanging out. Helen Berry, I know you're all like, come on, dude, 15 minutes. Let's go. Yeah, I agree. Den Bub, didn't forget you. All right, let's go. Stephen Quigley, I see you. Dark Hour Paranormal, killing it. William Scott Thomas, hey. All right, we can go. We can start. I was waiting. Do you guys know who William Scott Thomas is? No? Hey, Misty OC Dragons with the $4. We'll just keep it a USD $4 super chat, super sticker. Thank you. I didn't see which one it was. I'm waiting for it to catch up. But tonight I am going to talk about some things that happened to me paranormally. I've been getting several requests from people asking, why don't you tell us about, because we got a lot of new people here in the last 6 months since the inclusion of third phase in our lives. Actually, it's 8 months now, since June of last year. And I did talk about some things, not a lot, just a couple. And what was that? That is a big, huge cup of Joe, I think. Thank you very much, Misty. That looks like Red Bull. I'm going to say that's a cup of Red Bull from the Jubilant Pear, as I'm going to call that thing. It's a Jubilant Pear. So I'll talk about that. But I did want to talk about how it's weird how some rules apply to some people and not others. We see that all the time. And it happened to me, and I got mad, and I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. For those of you who were at the Spaced Out Radio Friday night roundtable, there was somebody there who threatened me with like actual physical violence in the chat room after trying to, get me to say something stupid or fight with him. It was a person who went by GF, right? And earlier this weekend or during the week, I read something on YouTube that says, hey, if you don't want to block somebody from your channel, just block them from you or a chat room. So I did. I wound up blocking that person because I'm a guest and a friend on Spaced Out Radio. I mean, nobody has more appearances on the round table than me. I've been there for a very long time. And Dave invites me. If he doesn't invite me, I won't be there. Obviously, he invited me, so I went. And, when if anybody gets attacked like the way he attacked me, now I didn't say anything the first 20 messages. And this person's like, you're a, airbag, you're a midget. And I said, midget, that's pretty good. I go, well, and I made some funny comment back and I said, I don't care. I go, I'll just come and kick you in the kneecaps, something like that. And then I didn't get I didn't get mad. I used that reverse psychology, right? And I was nice. And then I said, why are you being a tough guy on the computer? So then he says, why don't you just come over to Canada so I can knock your teeth out? You have so many teeth, I'd like to knock them out. Now, at that point, there were no issues warned, no warnings issued. Nobody got banned. Now, he didn't get, or she, could be a girl, did not get the timeout. And Corinth, the booking guy who does the moderating for that channel, banned somebody before and never heard the end of it. So now he's got a shy trigger finger, afraid to make that move, from what I heard. Because now I'm sending a message over to Dave during the show on Skype, and I'm saying, why don't you ban this guy for threatening me? How are you allowing this? I thought, I said, why aren't you banning this guy? So then when we went to break and Dave was off the radio and just on YouTube, he says, I'm not going to take this. You can't be doing that. And anyway, if that happened here, if anybody threatened anybody, they're banned for life. There's no coming back from it. And especially me, who I'm supposed to be a good friend. I mean, why would you even allow that to happen? So then I started thinking, why did Dave allow that to happen? Well, Dave doesn't like to block people. God forbid you lose one customer. It's okay, Dave. We're not selling cars here, all right? You know what I mean? It's okay. That person had a fake account. Obviously, GF. Oh, come on. God forbid you ban somebody. Oh, as soon as you put the banning out there, then people think that yeah, exactly. I'm just guessing this is what he's thinking. He never told me. And if he did, I don't remember. He did tell me one time why he doesn't want to ban people, but I just don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember. It's like you have to ban people who do stupid shit like that, especially with fake accounts, especially when they make a threat. I don't care that somebody makes a threat. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that Dave didn't stand up for me, and Corinth didn't. So I, sent a message over to Dave today. I thought about it over the weekend. I told him. I don't even think I mentioned it Saturday, and it really pissed me off. Yeah. So I believe that once you threaten somebody, it's stepping the line. So in my mind, I'm also thinking, why wouldn't he ban this guy? I know why. I'm thinking now I'm just assuming here, but at the end of the year, Dave put out his top 10 UFO researchers list and put Lou Elizondo at the top of the list, Christopher Mellon, and all of TTSA top 3 or 4, and also Tim McShillen, the hoaxer. Lou doesn't do anything. Tim McShillen, the hoaxer, and then he also had somebody. Skinwalker Ranch guy, who's putting up balloons as UFO. Now we're seeing all this stuff. It's like, I think Dave because I came on, allowed this person to do that. Now it's probably wrong, but I think Dave's still a little hurt about me going after him on that top 10 list where I said the only reason he put Lou up there is because he wants him on his show. Part of it's true. I mean, me and Dave talked about it. Yeah. So, and I'm like, I get it. I understand that. It's a good tactic. I get it. But I just said it because it's obvious. Because he's not the UFO researcher of the year. There's no freaking way. If anybody is, and I'm not kissing ass, but because I'm in the know, I mean, not only I think I could have been, but definitely third phase of Moon. They're the researchers of the year, if anybody is, but they get submissions and they break the news first. Usually they do. And that's true. Love them or hate them. But nonetheless, it was TTSA kiss ass list. And I was like, all right, I'm going to call him out. He knows I love him. That's my thought process. And I was a little tough, but sometimes the obvious needs to be pointed out. And I did that. And Dave knows that about me. and took it like for what it is. But I'm not sure if Dave knew this person. And then I'm also thinking the reason they're not blocking me or blocking them or him talking to me this way, because they know who it is. It was probably Corinth doing it with a fake account, for all I know. I know who it was. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. There's a way to find out. I think it was Joe Merja. Yeah. It was Joe Merja. That's who I think it was. Either that or Christopher Wolford, one of those two. Joe Merja, Red Rum, the guy who does like 3 articles a year and thinks he's hot shit in the UFO community. Well, he's hot shit with his little buddies at the, what do they call them? Dumb guns? The UFO, young guns. Dumb guns too. I saw a few super chats, $10. Where is it? From, it's gone. I can't get to it. You guys typed in too much. It was $10 from Knowledge 888 and also a few more $1.49 super chats. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to see if it's over here. I told you I'm trying. I just saw it fall off the YouTube screen. Come on, YouTube. There it is. I hate happy birthdays, he said, for $10. Okay, I saw it. Thank you very much. Yeah, Joe Monk, that GF was a dick. And I think it was Joe Merja, because that's something Joe Merja would do. You know what I mean? Mr. Computer Tough Guy. We got a lot of those. I just come here and talk shit, you know, because I want them to see me when I tell them they suck and they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about. And everything I said about TTSA came true. I said they got 5 years. They're going to be done. We all said it. A lot of us said it. They're not going to last. No way. Bringing in Lou. That's when we knew something was going to go awry with Tom DeLonge and all of those people. So obvious, man. Anyway, so that's what happened. And if anybody here does anything like that, you would be banned too. And sometimes people get banned for the wrong reasons. Sometimes they get blocked for the wrong reasons, but moderators are human. They make mistakes too. And sometimes you may say something that sounds funny in a text, but when other people read it, they don't know the context of that conversation. And it's like, what are you saying? Why would you say such horrible things? And it's not, it's a joke, but somebody could take it the wrong way. Just be aware of that. And whoever you're talking to, make sure you at them so it highlights that person so we all know who you're talking to. If you want to ask me a question, I will try my best to get to it if I see it. I'm a one-man band. I don't have a lot of guests, so I'm working. I'm hardly looking at the chat room. I've tried it my whole life, and I can't focus on both at the same time. So my phone is over there. It should be here in case I need to get a message from the moderators, but sometimes shit happens, and hopefully we can all get through it and just come out better for it. And if anybody here, you know, does anything like that, you know, threatening somebody, you just can't. You got to go. It's just the way it is. But you can always message me if you want to talk about why you were banned, if you don't think you should be. I'm open to that. And you could reach me at goofonradio@gmail.com. That's the best way. All right. So with that being said, I want to just get you a little bit in the mood. You know, it's Monday, right? Isn't it Monday? Are we starting off this month on a Monday? Holy crap. This month is, hey, and I'm moving in 2 weeks. I can't believe I'm moving in 2 weeks. My God, what am I doing? But I am. I got a video here from Unexplained Mysteries, and it's called "This NASA Photo Probe Did a Flyover of Mars, Moon, Phobos, and Accidentally Detected Something." You probably know what it is, but we'll just get you warmed up. It's simple, it's easy. I've got a couple of things I have to show you, but watch this, and let's get our mind back into the what ifs, the possibilities, the things that make you go real or fake.
2020. But did you know that there are dozens, if not hundreds, of monoliths scattered across the solar system?
Hundreds!
And one particular monolith, the Phobos monolith, is 300 feet in height. The Phobos monolith sits on the moon Phobos, which belongs to the rocky desert planet of Mars. But Phobos is not alone, as Mars also has a monolith to its name, appropriately titled the Mars monolith. The Mars monolith is a rectangular object that was identified on Mars's surface. Orbit imagery taken from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter at around 180 miles away shows that the Mars monolith sits at the bottom of a cliff.
So I've seen so many people say that is not real. That's fake. No, it's real. It's taken from the Mars Reconnaissance rover, right? Isn't that? Or rover. Probe. And really, that is huge. And if you look around, it looks like the stupid monoliths that were kind of, strewn about all over here on Earth. The little disturbed Earth. Or could this be, I don't know. Could this be one of these? God, do you remember that? The monolith? How annoying was that story? And it was still going on. There's so many monoliths that showed up, like 25 all over the world. But here it is on Phobos. See, I just don't understand what's happening. This is a very distinct shadow. And this looks like it even, I don't know, it's probably the way the ground is uneven or whatever. But it even looks like it has a little hub, like a top to it almost. So I don't know. I think we can get a much better photo nowadays. Photo of Phobos? We should redo that. That stuff needs to be redone. It's an interesting find. It's pretty amazing. Wait, there's something else here. Hold on. What is he doing now? Oh, is this another one or another photo? Here, check this out.
As PRIME, fully known as Phobos Reconnaissance and International Mars Exploration. The proposed mission would see a lander touch down on the surface of the lonely moon to take samples of the moon's geology.
Wait, I thought there was another one. What's this?
The discovery of the Mars monolith came from the same stream of images taken by the Mars.
Okay, pretty cool. That's pretty freaking wild. It almost looks like a tombstone. Oh, I figured it out. I know what it is. It's a tombstone for a giant Martian. It's pretty wild. I don't know, man. It looks like the Earth is disturbed around it, like something came in here and either built it, or you can see it's not. I mean, if that's 300 feet tall, that's unbelievable. That's the size of a football field. Okay, just to give you an idea. Pretty wild stuff. Anyway, just getting you a little wet. Now, I got to talk about something else, getting you a little wet. That doesn't work for all of us. So, I use the word capiche on this show. It's an Italian word that means understand. And sometimes I'll say, I can't believe these monoliths. People think they're real. They're not real. They were put there by a guy who does art. Capiche? And then I'll say, it's a one capiche show. We've had 5 capiches in one show. Now I see somebody stealing my capiche. Can you guess who it is? Listen to this.
The response we give to it is just as much a part of the disclosure process as the emergence of forensic evidence. Capiche?
Yeah, guessed it. You guessed it. UFO Jesus. Ryan.
As the emergence of forensic evidence. Capiche?
Who says capiche like that? I got empirical evidence. Capiche. No, it's capiche. You got to do it with style. You don't say capiche just like, you're saying the. And you're not Italian. So don't even use capiche. Yes, only Italians can use capiche. It sounds better. Can you believe this guy? All right, let's hear what he's talking about. Amazing triangular UFO photo about to leak. Is this the one that, what's his name, McShillen was talking about? It could be. Let's hear what Ryan's got to say now that we got his attention.
Reportedly emerged out of the ocean, will be released soon, has been gaining steam lately. What will be the significance of this photo if it is to be released? Will it help to push the ball down the field for UFO disclosure?
It's never going to happen. That is why Tim McShillen told us the beautiful story and it never happened. Is this the one he's talking about? I thought that was done and over with, that story about this triangular craft coming out of the ocean above submarines and then shooting up into space. That is...
Only time will tell. In December 2017, Fleur One Video.
Fleur? It's Fleer. Fleur? See, I can't, when you got the UFO Twitter guys, they're just deciding they're going to change the way you say words now, or acronyms. Everybody on the planet says Fleer. He wants to say Fleur.
As well as the gimbal video were released, showcasing unidentified aerial phenomena. And in March of 2018, the Go Fast video was released showcasing the same. Now,
thank you for telling us stuff we know for 3 years, 4 years. Thanks, appreciate it.
Now, I'll be the first one to grant you that those videos are by no means smoking guns of otherworldly technology. If they were, the world would respond to them very differently. That is for sure.
No. What did he just say? This is important because these are the people that are making the narrative. Him and all of his little friends. Because they are in the know. They know people in mainstream media. That's the bullshittery of what's going on. They want to keep it a threat. They want to tell us that I just can't. I can't. No, really. Let's hear what he had to say. Him and his smirk.
Technology. If they were, the world would respond to them very differently.
No, what did he say?
If they are by no means smoking guns of otherworldly technology. If they were, the world would respond to them very differently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's right. He's right. If it was otherworldly technology, would we even recognize it? Good point, Ryan. Good point. What did you say? Hey, look who's here. Doc. 1028 Productions. What'd you ask? Doc says, goof on, this is why we need a grading system on levels of knowledge. Well, first, we got to get the kids back in school. And who becomes the grader of these knowledges. I tell you what, I'll be the guy. I'll be one of those guys. We can grade on a scale, what? A, B, C, D, F. Let's just do that. If I was to grade the knowledge of, thank you very much, 1028 Productions, Doc Skinner, who, by the way, is also a part of the Third Phase of Moon panel. Not experts. But if I was to grade Ryan, aka UFO Jesus, are we basing this intelligence just on ufology or general overall intelligence? We can do both. So I'm going to say for him, general knowledge of ufology, D, straight up, maybe D plus. I'll tell you why. He does not know the history of ufology. He makes assumptions about things that nobody could know. Like and changed his tune. Now I don't have a problem with people changing their mind or anything, but when you make it your mantra, and now you're changing your mantra, like he would say, disclosure is going to happen within the next 5 months. When he first came along with TTSA, remember? And I was talking about, I'm like, Jesus, what is he talking about? I can't believe this guy. He's saying that disclosure is going to happen in 5 months. After those videos came out. Well, 5 months came and went. A year goes by. And now he sees some other evidence. What was it? No, it wasn't the other world, off-world thing. It was before that. Oh, it was the Navy admitting that those videos they gave us were legit. Now disclosure is going to happen within 5 years. 5 years. And then it didn't happen. Well, of course it didn't. But fast forward another year, and the guy's changed his mind again, and he has learned. There's a learning curve in this field, but he learned and said, I don't know when disclosure is going to happen. To be honest, it may never happen. It may happen tomorrow. Great answer. Love it. Because that's what I feel. It'll never happen, or it could happen tomorrow. But it's not going to happen the way a lot of people think it's going to happen, in my opinion. I think it's just going to be one day they're going to show up, ripping it off like a Band-Aid. They're there. There's not going to be any soft disclosure, kids. I think it's just going to happen, and we're going to have to deal with it. And I hope to God that they are not going to not kill us or murder or blow up the place, because I don't know if that'll happen. But I would hope that they would be human-like. You know why? Because we won't be as scared. If they came out looking like Mars attacks creatures, which could very well be true, or they looked like the Predator, 2 arms, 2 legs, he's got dreads. Okay, maybe this guy's cool. They would have to look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for us not to feel that threatened. The short version, not the 40-story Stay Puft Marshmallow guy. I feel that humans, we can't get along with each other. What makes you think you can get along with an international? No. Interstellar species, yes. Maybe from another universe. Maybe from a multiverse. And then everything else just goes to hell. Because people will freak out. You don't think there would be any looting, rioting, killing, maiming, people jumping out of windows? I do. Yeah. I definitely do think that people are going to lose their freaking minds if that happens. But that's the way it needs to happen. And then it'll be good. You know, they'll park their ships over each of the major countries, cities. And they're huge. Some days they'll give us an eclipse. It'll be beautiful. Man, it could be anything. Scary. I want to take a look at the Mars Perseverance, Gigapan, and Geiger Goyle of Gale from, is it Art Alien TV? It is. this is a pretty interesting video here. A little bit of pareidolia, never hurt anybody, but it's always nice to know what's going on with the rocks in the areas where we land. So let's check out some rocky whatevers on Mars. Take it away. Oh, what did I say? Art Alien TV. Giddy up.
Image clips and everything else, okay? So, right, the new thing I was going to show was something I found yesterday. In fact, it was probably late last night, early this morning when I found this.
Oh, did I miss?
And, I've already posted this on Mars Magazine, and I've already posted it on my channel as an image. This is insane. Absolutely insane. And it's yet another carving of a human or humanoid. And it's absolutely insane. Just here, I'll show you the close-up detail in a minute, right? But basically, we have this thing here, right? Which I've been looking at for many years from a long distance away. I spotted this initially probably 5 years ago from miles and miles away when the rover zoomed the camera in. This is Mount Sharp. This is Curiosity rover, MSL Sol 30.
All right. So are we believing now on this? Thank you, Frapsap. I think I saw another super chat and I missed it. And I apologize if I did. Frapsap, thank you. I got your back, Rich. Capiche. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out. For ufology. I put that year for ufology in there, because that's what it really is. Because if you ain't looking up, you're not looking out for ufology. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. Hey, I couldn't come up with anything else. But this is, thank you, Frapsap, super generoso. And if I missed anything else, I apologize. But thank you for the super chats. This is just really nothing, but I like it. I like what they're trying to do here, trying to make heads out of tails. What are we saying? That this is an Egyptian-esque looking headdress or something? I know we're going off here too, but watch. It's kind of, well, it's a side view. See, I don't, this is a face it looks like, right? You got the eye right there. Let me blow this up so you see it all. This is pareidolia, kids. I say this with the straight face, smiling. This is what pareidolia is. But this guy face has an underbite. It's kind of cool. And he's got a long downward nose, kind of Egyptian-like. Freaking, you want to do this somewhere else? We can do it. Watch. We can just pick this rock, right? Okay. And we got stairs going up the side of the rocks. There must have been a house up here. Okay. There, we did it. What is this? Oh my God. These are monoliths that were surgically cut with lasers. Oh, you can see it right here. Yep. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, can't do that. What else is he doing? Still talking about it 4 minutes later. Hey, some pareidolia is fun. Oh my God. I can't imagine having a whole video about one rock. But it is cool though, man. It does look like it's really like it's even got, I don't know. That looks like a mask. Oh, look at here. We got some writing. It looks like this could be like a tattoo. I might get, it looks like some hooks here, right? Maybe this was the weapons they used to hook into a sand monster, something like the sort, yeah? Look at the fucking eyes on this creature here. You could see his eyes. Anyway, crikey. I know, it's awful. I shouldn't do that. God forgive me. What's that? All right. Before I get into my paranormal ways, things that made my life change, things that I don't want to talk about, I will talk about. But I'm just going to play a minute of this video. because I think some of the people in here will enjoy this. I believe this was sent to me by somebody, and I don't remember who. But here we go.
10, 3, 2, 1.
Was it DJ?
Hey guys, I'm the Hacksmith, and in this episode of Make It Real, we've made the world's first full metal Iron Man helmet complete with a heads-up display. And to prove that to you, well, watch this.
Wow.
Whoa, stop!
This guy's insane. He's got a bare neck showing, dude. I mean, is he thinking?
Big thank you to Honey for sponsoring this video. And thanks to them, we're
guy's
going to be giving away one of these replica full metal Iron Man helmets to you guys.
All right. I'm stopping it right there for a second. Check this stuff out. Wow. He made one with a heads-up display. I just thought I'd share this with some of you. This is our tech part. I mean, you can just jump through here with me and
It looks like it might be possible to mount this display in here like this. So what we might have to do is take off this plastic casing.
this is the future. You know what I mean? That's just amazing. This guy's actually doing it. He is. He's making the Iron Man mask and made it. You saw him wearing it. It closes. His has the heads-up display. One thing that I see why this would be very hard to create, I guess, on a private level instead of a corporation is the funding to get what you need to make it work right and everything else. But this guy must be some sort of freaking genius to come up with this stuff, right? Oh, God, I want one.
That's you. Oh, I can see.
Oh my God, freaking A. I want one. I want one. He's going to put it on.
Inside the helmet. Little switch right here. And that actually changes the display mode of the heads-up display. So you can do like zoom, full screen.
Wow. How cool. I want to see that heads-up display.
What the crap? Oh my god.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. Lights up. I missed it. Oh, boy. There we
Jarvis,
go.
you there? That's just a...
Oh, my God. I want one so bad. If anybody wants to save a life, I wonder how much that would run. How much is it? Got 18 million views. Let's see if it tells us how much it would cost. He gives us everything that's included, everything he used to build it. Wow. The camera gear. Jesus. Wow, he put a lot of... It's pretty cool. What did he call it? I don't know. Wild stuff. All right, so we're at the... Are we almost at the top of the hour? Do I have another video real quick? This was sent to me by USA and other... what is it? What is your name? USA? USA, another... you know the guy who's in our chat. I can't think. Oh, wait, let me pull it up. Here it is. USA and Other Legal Issues sent me this. Let me pull it up. I think he changed the name of himself, right? Hold on a sec. I keep forgetting that I'm on StreamYard. But this is the Freedom of Information Act, the electronic reading room for the Philadelphia experiment. Anyway, I didn't look into it yet, but it says William L. Moore, a former Minnesota school teacher and co-author of the Philadelphia experiment, Iraq trends in record management, studies in intelligence. So I don't know. Here's something that says Stargate over here, Philadelphia experiment, FOIA request. So I'm going to look into it. I just wanted to show that there is a FOIA request for the Philadelphia experiment. You probably knew that, though. I'm probably wrong. And before I get into I want to play this sighting from Mr. Catfish. Yes, Mr. Catfish sent me this, and let me see if I can play it. I don't know if I got permission, but he says, look at what my mom-in-law captured at 5 a.m. Okay. And he said they followed us to Queens, New York, I believe. All right. All right. I'm just checking to make sure here. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can play this for a second, but he made the video for me, so I'll play it. Just for a minute. See what he says. We're focusing on this.
This is a supermarket. As you can see here, these are bicycles. These are bicycles here. So you can see more or less how close this building was.
Okay.
So this is the supermarket right here, and this is paint. This is like the pattern of the supermarket. These are the bicycles down here.
Yeah.
Bicycles. And these are how close these UFOs are. And then they came and they made like a perfect triangle or something. They were showing, I guess, their precision or their intelligence. They were like, I don't know why she had this encounter, but the night before, like, we were just talking like, Dad, I wish that UFOs would be like, I wish people would tell us about UFOs and stuff, and then this happens, so.
Interesting. So we'll look more into this, and I just fair used it for now since I didn't get full permission. So that'll be okay to talk about for as long as I played that. But yeah, this is a 2-hour video that he has up here, 2.5 hours. Not all about this, but other stuff too. It's very hard if you don't have the video and you're just seeing pictures. Yeah, it's good. It's half as good as having the actual video. But apparently, Mr. Catfish and maybe his family, it seems like, are being, who knows? You don't know, but they could possibly be having encounters, experiences, which leads right into me. Because I get now with a lot of new people here, not understanding where I came from because they weren't here 8 months ago, where some of you have been here since the beginning, even longer, COVID. And yeah, I definitely got into ufology because my wife and I saw something one night. I bought a dog and saw a UFO. She saw it first right at 10 o'clock at night. I looked up, she told me where to look, and I saw these lights moving around. And then I went out the next night and saw them again, almost identically in the same spot. So I went inside the house, went on the internet. I typed in Phoenix UFOs, anybody see that, nothing came up. And they were very tiny, tiny lights. I was thinking they were just satellites, but when they moved one way and then literally backtracked from where it came from, I was like, wait a minute. That's really odd. I don't think satellites do that at the time. I know that satellites, they just go around 17,500 miles an hour around the Earth. Before that, what got me into, and thank you, Knowledge 888 for the 99-cent super sticker, super generoso again. But before that, before what dragged me into ufology, I had dreams growing up. And I was like anybody else, but I mean, I remember being 6 or 7 years old. And the reason I can gauge the age there was 2 events that happened in my life between 7 and 10 and a half. 7, there was a death in the family, my brother. And then 10 and a half, I moved to Arizona and then moved back to New York and then back to Arizona. So I know where these things happened in an early life. And if you go from the year I was born, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, there was a lot of good UFO shows, not UFO shows, but movies that were out, right? Didn't Space 2000, what was that one? 2001, A Space Odyssey come out before that, before 75? Yeah. And we had, those TV shows back in the day, Space 1999. And then we saw $6 Million Man. They rebuilt him for $6 million. Pretty much 2 legs, an eye, and an arm. He was like the Chuck Yeager of our day. Remember? That's how he died. She's breaking up. And he was in the craft, whatever. But anyway, grew up with that. Bigfoot was just getting popular. So as an impressionable 7, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, whatever, Star Wars comes out when I was 9? 77? Isn't that when Star Wars came out? Yeah. And then Star Wars came out. And the reason I'm telling you this, because before that, when my brother passed away when I was 7, what was I watching really? My parents tried to force feed that Sesame Street shit and PBS shows, and I didn't like them. I liked adult television. So, I didn't like TV as a kid, watching cartoons. I hated all the cartoons and didn't really watch them. I watched Bugs Bunny. That was my favorite. But I would have very interesting dreams of little people in my room after my brother passed away. And I never told anybody about the little people. And when I'm talking little, I'm talking Ant-Man. And I too would go down to their size. And they would say weird things. Like, come with us. Come with us. And constantly saying, come with us. It's okay. Come with us all the time. I mean, this happened for a couple of years. And when I moved to, when we found out we were moving to Arizona, that all seemed to stop right there. It's weird. I wonder if I was going through some sort of shock from not having my brother with me. I mean, we slept in the same room. He was 5 years older, but I had those beds. The one came out, and then then you sleep next to each other, and then at the end you sleep. You roll the bed under the other one. But they would call, and I said no, and I'd be scared, and I would hold the covers over my head, and the next thing I know, I feel, how do I explain it? Like I'm holding on to the sheet like this, right? And as I'm shrinking, I feel the fabric getting more coarse in my hands, and it's harder for me to hold up. And the next thing I know, I feel like I'm going down the first hill of a roller coaster, and they pull me to them, to their size. And I had that when I would get fevers too. When I was a kid, my temperature would go up to 104.5, 105. I've been to the hospital a few times. I had strep throat a lot, and for 4 years in a row is just a weird. Before we moved, the doctor says, if you get strep throat one more time, we're going to have to pull your tonsils. It's weird. Never had them pulled. Still got them. But that was my first experience seeing, and they wore, and this is going to sound dumb, but they wore little helmets, and they had, they all had extremely white suits. Like they looked like spacesuits. And now I don't know. It's very possible I may have watched the Twilight Zone episode that night where the guys went off into outer space and they went through a time change and they wound up on this planet and they see little people and it was Earth, but it was like Earth, but just small versions. I wonder if that's why I had that happen. But one night or one day, and this is according to my mother, my grandmother, and my sister, they hear me jumping up and down on the bed. I don't remember this, but this is the story that was told, and everybody swears by it. And because of this event, my dad taped the door so it couldn't lock again. Well, I'll tell you, I'm jumping up and down on the bed, and I'm laughing, and my mother knocks on the door, and she's like, Richie, and what are you doing? And she goes to open the door and can't. And, she's knocking on the door. And she, what are you doing? And she hears the bed. When you jump up and down on these beds, they got springs galore. And you hear, and I'm jumping up and down. And I said, he's here with me now. And my mother goes, who's here? And I said, my brother, and she goes, open the door. And my grandmother was saying something in Italian. Capisce? And the door, my mother said, it just opened. She wasn't touching it. It just opened when I said, it's my brother. And she saw me, jumping up and down, and I stopped. And she's like, who was here? And I'm like, he was here. So apparently what I found out is my parents saw their child in the hallway a few nights. So talk about freaky. He was there. Yeah, he must have been. My dad said he saw him. He said, Richie, I kid you not. He was walking around in his pajamas. And for a minute, I thought maybe I dreamed it all. But I watched him disappear. And I got out of bed. I grabbed my revolver because he thought, maybe he's seeing somebody walking around. He was a cop. And, walking around the house, nobody was there. All the doors were locked. 3 a.m. And of course, I told the story about how my sister's husband died in their home of cancer. And when their house caught on fire, there were people there. He died, and then the house caught on fire. It's a great story, by the way, about interaction between the other side and this side. I'll have to tell that story someday. It's pretty wild. I told it once, but anyway, as the people are working on the house and they're fixing everything, and all of a sudden they see a guy walking around the living room in workout clothes. Sir, you cannot be here, sir. Sir? And they look, nobody's there. And as the guy's turning his head, as the story is told to me, he saw the picture on the dresser of the guy, which was my sister's husband. Hey, I just saw this guy. So my sister came home and they told her the story. Hey, do you know this guy? And yeah, that was my husband. Why? He was here. He was? What do you mean? Well, we saw him, but then we didn't see him. I'm like, what? Yeah, he was wearing like a workout outfit. As a matter of fact, he looked like this guy right here. And there was a 20-year-old picture of him in his favorite workout outfit. So my sister whipped out a photo of him just more recently and showed it to him. And she said, that's my husband who passed away in this room that you're working in. Oh, capiche? Pretty weird stuff, right? Anyway, fast forward, we moved to to Arizona from New York. And when I moved out here in 1980, 81, 79, 80 actually, and then we moved again in 81, 82. When we moved into this other house, after just being in Arizona for a couple of years, it was in the middle of nowhere, right? It was like they cleared out all this land for all these new homes, and we were the first home to move there. We had an acre and really big backyard, and right at the bottom of a mountain in Arizona called the McDowell Mountains. If anybody's ever watched the Waste Management Golf tournament, you see those mountains in the background off the 16th hole. Anyway, when I was 12 to 13, I can't recall exactly when. Now, at the time, I'm just feeling out my heavy metal. I was always a rocker. I liked, even when I moved from New York, when I was 10, we listened to the Cars. I know, right? Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, of course, all that stuff. But the older I got, the more heavier it got, and it turned into Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Twisted Sister, Queensryche, and all that stuff. The Lady Wobbler. Remember that song? Oh, whew. Jet City Woman. Anyway, I love Queensryche. So we had lots of thunderstorms back in the 80s. And I told this story on the show before, but it leads up to very interesting stuff. Now, our grandmother still moved. She moved with us to Arizona. And she lived with us in this house for a couple of years before she had to be put into a home because of Alzheimer's and dementia. But one night, I heard my grandmother calling me, and there was a thunderstorm, like a legitimate thunderstorm. I fell asleep to a thunderstorm. We had monsoons. We don't have them anymore like we used to, but the storms were just rolling in. And I hear my grandmother, who lived with us, and she would, Richie. She always said, Richie. I'm like, what? And I thought I saw her. I slept with my door open. I didn't close my door. But we had a very big house, and I seen her turn around. So I get out of my bed thinking she wants me to cease. She was afraid of thunderstorms. And anytime there was a thunderstorm, she would put a towel over her head, thinking it would protect her. And she'd sit in her chair. She's from Italy, and she had her rosary beads and saying all sorts of prayers. And we never had storms like this in New York. So I'm thinking she's scared, and she knows I like thunderstorms and maybe wants me to comfort her. That's what I thought. Here I am at 12, 13 years old. So I step out into the hallway. She should have only been a few feet in front of me, and she was gone. Where'd she go? I look in the den. I look in the living room. I look in the diner, and I go down to her room. Meanwhile, lightning's coming in from outside. And I walk into the kitchen to go to her room, which was down another hallway, and I see her standing outside. Like, the door's open just a little bit, but she's outside during a thunderstorm underneath the awning that we had built so you could stand out there and not get hit with rain or anything. And I said, Grandma, what are you doing? She didn't turn around. I go, Grandma, what are you doing? She wouldn't turn around. She's just wearing her pajama, like the one, that those women wear, that big one-piece thing. So I go, what are you doing out here? And she goes, and I look out and I see a UFO. As weird as that sounds, there it is. Huge UFO. And when I mean huge, it was huge to me because, I've never seen anything like it, but I knew it was as big. It took up the whole acre. Let's just put it that way. I don't know how big that is, but it was definitely a couple 100 feet, I would guess, large. And every time the lightning would go off, the craft would light up, like the whole craft. Like you would see all the grooves on this craft light up. So you're seeing what looked like stencils or just lines. It was kind of amazing, actually, but it was also moving. And I can see every time the lightning would go off, there would be in like a different shape of the craft. Like one time it was just purely round, and another time it was oval, and another time it was diamond shaped, and another time it was more like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it opened up and it got thicker. But it was like a diamond shape and like an accordion. And I turned to look at my grandma and she's gone. And the storm starts to disappear. And I go, Grandma, and I go back in the house. And I go, did you see that? I go, did you see that? That was amazing. And Grandma, and my dad starts walking. He goes, what are you doing? And I go, I was talking to Grandma. What are you talking about? Come on, get back in bed. I go, did you see it out there? He's like, yeah, thunder and lightning, got it. And I go, no. And then my grandmother came out and she's like, is everything okay? I hear a lot of people talking. No, Ma, it's okay. Go back to sleep, my father said. Okay. So I went back to bed. Never talked about it again. The next night, we had a thunderstorm. Now, I had forgotten, believe it or not, it's not even on my mind for some reason. I just assumed I had a dream. But I talked to my dad the next day, and I said, did you see that thing outside? He goes, yeah, it was bad thunder last night. I go, no. I go, I saw something in the backyard. It was in the clouds. And what do you mean you saw something? And I told them what I saw, and I told them what happened. He goes, no, you were talking to yourself. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you were outside. I watched you for a minute. You were talking to yourself. I go, Grandma was with me. And he goes, maybe you sleptwalked. And that was it. Nobody talked about it. I accepted it as a dream until the next night. And it happened again. And this time, I hear the cries for my name from my mother. Richie. That's how my mother calls me. Richie. Richie. Get out of bed. I see her going down the hallway. And she went into the kitchen, turned right. I was about 10 feet behind. I come up. I look to the right. She's somehow shimmied all the way to the corner of the kitchen looking outside. I go, Ma, what are you doing? Ma. And she goes, look, during the thunderstorm. And I go, whoa. I go, no way. I saw this last night. So I open up the door. I go outside. And there's a craft out there, not as big. This one was probably 50 feet, maybe. It wasn't as big. And I told this part of the story before. But I walk out to the pool. I didn't just walk out to the edge of where the awning was like I did with Grandma. Now, as I'm walking out, I keep turning around. And I see my mother still there, like this, not moving her arm. And I'm like, I turn around, I go, I see it. So I walk around to the edge of the pool, and this craft turned like this, and let's say this is me, it inched right up to me, like 5 feet away. And it was like at a 45-degree angle. And I hear and feel, and the storm somehow stopped all around us. You can still see flashes, but there was this, and if anybody's ever sat in a car with huge woofers and all that shit, and just on a very low, like that, and it would. It was doing something like that. And it kept getting closer, like it wanted me to feel it. And that was the thought. And as I'm looking at the craft, now later, I can tell you what I saw. I couldn't put it to anything at the time, but it looked like Tetris. You know, the game where you have to move all the different shapes so they fall down, and then all the blocks fall and it starts another level. So in my mind, I see all these little lines and everything, and it was kind of cool, like track lighting. You know, I seen those lines like I did the night before on the ship. But I go and I put my hand on it, and electricity and vibration made my hand numb, but not numb. I can't explain it. I was still able to do this without it hurting, like as if your hand fell asleep, and you know what that feels like? It tingles. I can't explain. This one went through me. Like, I don't know, but I felt the energy went through my hand and out the other side. I actually thought this, and I rubbed my hand along. It was so weird. It felt like I was touching a wet balloon that was metallic. So imagine a balloon, like a huge one, where you put your hand in it and your hand sinks into it. That's what it was like, except it felt, and I felt it. The energy goes right through you. It actually made me feel euphoric. And I remember my shoulders and all my joints, like wherever my body was connected, you know what I mean? Like all those parts felt lubricated. They got warm and I felt good. And it was like, wow. And all of a sudden I see two little ships, two little balls of light come out the side, little tiny balls. And to me, I envisioned them being the smaller version of the craft I was looking at. But they were kind of looking around, little small ones. Now, mind you, this is after Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is 82, 83. 80, like right around 82. In between 81, 82, because I wasn't in high school yet. I was in 8th grade. I remember that. And I watched these two lights, and it looked like they were looking at me, like they were checking me out. Like when I moved, they moved. When I moved this way, they moved that way. Meanwhile, I kept my hand on the craft the whole time. And then it moved back. The two little lights go into it. I still feel it going through my body, the energy and everything. And then there was a voice that I don't even know how to explain it. It wasn't a voice. It was an interpretation of the feeling of like this craft was alive. Now, mind you, this is all dreams, okay? I don't know if I was abducted. I don't know if I slept walked. My mother and grandmother said they were not out pointing at the sky because we actually had an argument about it because it was so real to me. And I remember when I woke up the next day, I remember my hand, it felt different. It wasn't asleep. It didn't feel like that. It was as if like, I don't know. It's like when I closed my hand, I couldn't feel it. It was almost like something biologically changed, I guess. I don't know. But that is probably one of the best experiences I ever had. Now, I had similar dreams. And the reason I tell you in detail what happened on that experience is because it repeated itself a couple more times over the next couple of months. And they only came around when there were thunderstorms. Either that or they brought the thunderstorms with them. You guys asked, you wanted to know some stories? I'm telling you some stories. So my grandmother was put in a home, and then she passed away about a year or so later. And I don't know what it was, but I got home late one night. And that's what it was. I was at my girlfriend's, and I used to ride my bike because I didn't have a license at the time. So I used to ride my bike 7 miles to go hang out with her. She had a mother that didn't really care, divorced. She let her do whatever. She was a good girl. It's not like we were doing anything anyway, as 14-year-olds did. But nonetheless, I would stay there till midnight, and then I'd come home. And I was riding my bike up, and my mother said, "Don't be late," which means be home by 11. Well, it was 1 o'clock. And I'm pulling in, and we had a big front yard. I could actually show you the house. It still looks the same to this day. But I was going to go through my window in my bedroom because I knew I was going to be late. And the alarm system was magnets. So I took the magnet off of the window and taped it to the other one. So if you open the window, those two magnets are still together. So that's what I did. And as I'm walking up to my room, which was 10 feet away from the front door, I see this. And I said, my grandmother's here. And I saw her. I go up and I go, this is impossible. I open up the door. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I go to my parents' bedroom, and I'm hovering outside their door, listening. And I hear my mother go, "Richie." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "You home?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Were you looking out the window, waiting for me?" "No, but you're late." I go, "I know." I hear my father say, "Stop being late." Anyway, the next night, I come home, and I was just going through the front door. It was an early night. And I see my mother putting her head up to the front door. And the front door had 2 stained glass windows on each side. So I thought they were waiting up for me. I thought my mother was waiting up for me. I'm like, "What are you doing? It's 9:30 at night." I could understand the 1 a.m., but the 9:30, So I open up the door, and everybody's watching TV. And I go, "What are you doing?" That's the first thing I said. My mother goes, "What are you talking about? Why are you waiting for me at the front door?" She's like, "Richie, I wasn't waiting for you. I haven't moved. We're watching a movie." And I go, "I just saw you at the window doing this." And she looks at my father, and my father looks at her. And my father goes, "That was your grandmother." I go, "What do you mean?" Well, my mother says, "Well, we've seen her." And I go, "You have? That's unbelievable." So my grandmother was visiting us, and I thought I saw her the first night. The second night, I thought it was my mother, because why would my grandmother? What am I imagining things? But it happened to be my grandmother checking up on me, making sure I got home okay, I guess. Really strange. Now, a little bit later, after that, not many months later, I bought this album called Power Slave by Iron Maiden. And it was the picture disc. I still have it. I showed it here on the show. But do you remember in the old days, we used to record all of our stuff at home so we can put it on a tape to listen to in the car? And that's what I was doing. I was making a tape with the new album. And there it is. And I have Power Slave is playing. Tell me why I have to be a power slave. Tell me why I don't have to believe in a God. dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, hey, this is fucking awesome, man. Fucking love Iron Maiden, man. Fucking Iron Maiden. High-fiving myself. Tears are coming out of my eyes. I'm reading the notes and the music, and I'm just loving every fucking motherfucking power sleeve. Yeah. And then my father comes home. And I had to do chores, which I did. And one of those chores was picking up dog poop. We had 2 poodles. Little Tootsie Rolls never hurt anybody, right? They get real hard in the Arizona sun, so I didn't care. I picked everything up, so I thought. So my father comes home like Clint Eastwood. You've heard the Eddie Murphy do, my mother was like Clint Eastwood with a shoe. Well, that's how my father was with a handkerchief. Anyway, so Power Slave is going off, and I'm like, I love it, man. And I hear my dad go, hey, Richard. Hey, Richard. I go, what? Hey, don't what me. Come here, I want to show you something. A few seconds goes by. I'm turning the volume all the way down, making sure the levels are good. And I hear him walking down the hallway. Hey, I told you. And I go, I'm coming. And as I said, I'm coming, the record starts spinning really fast. Tell me why. And I said, whoa. And I knew what just happened. But I couldn't focus on it because my father is coming down the hallway. If he opens that door before I step out into the hallway, he's going to be more mad that I didn't rush. So that's still recording. And I step out into the hallway, starting to walk down the hall. And I see him. He's at that kitchen I told you about, which is about 20 feet away. And he sees me and he goes, come on, man. You make me sit here all day. And I said, I told you I was coming. The smoke detector goes off right in the hallway, right next to me. It freaked me out. And he didn't see it. He turned around. He thought I pressed the button to test it. He goes, what are you doing? I go, I didn't do anything. It went off by itself. Oh, maybe it needs batteries. As I'm going down the hallway, there's another smoke detector I will pass by because he goes out into the garage through the laundry room to show me what this thing is that I need to see. So he's in the garage. I'm coming down and I'm just about to pass the smoke detector. And I hear him in the garage. Hey, don't make me wait out here. And I said, I'm coming. And I'm like, holy shit, the smoke detector went off. And then I hear him say, stop playing with it. I'll change the battery later. I said, I didn't touch it. Why do you gotta lie? I heard it go off. I said, I didn't touch it. Anyway, he had to show me what was so important was that I missed 2 pieces of poop in the backyard that were underneath wood where scorpions live. Yeah. Anyway, that's weird. So I remembered when I get back to the room, my bedroom, that I was recording the album. So it was only 5 minutes went by and I wait for the song to end. It's a long song. I think it's 8 minutes and I let it end and I rewind the tape and there it was. Tell me why. And for like 5 seconds, it goes at this incredible speed. So I turned the tape over because it was blank on the other side. I haven't recorded yet. And I wanted to see if I could make it go that fast with, just to see if I could figure out how fast it actually went and match it up. So, I tried it, but I had a Techniques deck and a whole beautiful stereo system that I bought. I sold papers or delivered newspapers, so I had some dough. And I put my finger on the thing trying to make it spin as fast, and my finger kept slipping off, and because it just wouldn't go that fast. It was like you had to push down on it to turn it. It was a bitch, and every time I would do that, it was like, so it was very hard for me. And even if I went like this and tried to make it go faster, I would slip off or it wouldn't sound the same. So it was just verifying that somehow my body energy created this speed up of power on the turntable and the smoke detectors. pretty wild stuff. Well, some of you know that I had weird experiences in 2008 and 9. One of them was when now, if you go fast forward all the way to 2000. Now, of course, when I was 22, 23, I had a girlfriend. Her name was Tony, and we were together for 3 years, and we hung out a lot. And I knew her parents, and they knew mine, and we figured we're going to be together forever and whatever. But it was 4th of July, and her family was having people over, and they had one of those slides that you go up the stairs circular. There was a platform, and they had one of those cool slides you go down, and it spun around on the way down, and yay. So, we were doing that with the kids and having some fun with family and whatnot. And my girlfriend goes, check that out. And I turn around, due north is this object, and it kind of looked like this lighter. It just was that shape, just sitting there. It was around 6:30-ish. And I go, whoa, what is that? And it's not moving. And we did have some reports of sightings over that year, which is why she got my attention, because we were into UFOs and things like that. And I forget what movie just came out. I can't remember the movie, but seeing that UFO in the sky, and it sat there for 15 minutes and didn't move. And she goes, let's go to it. And I go, I'll go to where it's at. We were trying to figure out how far away it was. It wasn't that far away. So I go down the stairs, and my car is right in the park, in the driveway. And as I'm going down backwards down the stairs, I'm trying to keep my eyes on it. And I lost sight of it, but she was still watching it. When I got to the car, I look up and I can't find it. And I kept telling her, I can't see it. She goes, it's still there. And I said, well, I can't see it. She goes, it's right above the house. The same thing. If you look at the tower, I go, I know, but I'm in a different position. So I tried to position myself where she was down on the bottom, and I still couldn't find it. So I go back up the stairs and I get to where she is, and I follow her finger, and sure enough, I see it. I get back down. Now it's 10 to 7 or 5 to 7. 10 minutes have gone by. It's getting darker. Anyway, I couldn't find it. Every time I went downstairs, I lost track of it. So I told her, if I get in my car, what good is it if I can't find it? So I never went. And we watched it all the way until the sun went down. It stayed in that same spot. That was the turning point for me with UFOs. It wasn't the dreams and the touching and the imagination of being with grandmother and ma at 13, 14 years old. No, because that was dismissed as dreams. Had no choice. Because that's what it was. What are the odds UFOs are going to be in my backyard? Give me a freaking break. No way. But here's the thing. Something I thought about. I can't believe I'm still talking this long. That there were certain times in my life where I think, if they're real, that they were trying to get my attention for some reason. And it seemed to be when I was 6 or 7, 22, 23, and then again at 38, 39 years old. So it seems like every 15, 16 years, there's something major that happens in my life. Maybe not. But in 2004, I explained, me and my wife, I got Angus and the dog, and by just taking him in the backyard, we saw these lights. That got me into the field because of the internet. And then after that, I was videotaping UFOs. in 2004. Well, not UFOs. I was videotaping things that I thought were UFOs. And I believe it was June 27th, 2004. I recorded my first of 5 triangle videos where it's just 3 points of light, not a triangular craft per se, like solid, but 3 points of light. It's pretty amazing to see that first one, because there was a time from April, May, June, July, and I was videotaping everything with my sister's camera. I borrowed her camera. I didn't have one at the time. And I'm like, and I told my ex-wife at the time, my wife, and I'm like, I go, all I'm doing is seeing satellites. And if these aren't satellites, I'm only seeing one. I go, it could be anything, man. And the night before I said all this, and I'm like, I'm just tired of seeing one thing. I go, I wish I would see what they see in Mexico, which at the time were the fleets. So at 2:55 a.m. on June 27, 2004, I videotaped 2 lights that were coming from the south and then turned and headed east. But little did I know, it was 3 lights the whole time. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know about the third one because it was so faint. I captured my first triangle. The day after I said, why don't I see more than one at the same time? Now we're going to fast forward to December 12th, 2004 at 11:11 a.m. The night before, on December 11th, I told my wife, I'm done. I hate ufology. I hate everything about it. I go, these people believe everything I'm catching is a UFO. I go, how do they know? Nobody even does any investigation. I'm like really into it, at the time. And I go, I just don't like these techniques people use. They're using the sun technique, and they all it is dust and dirt and all that other shit, particulates in the air. And I said, nobody's seeing UFOs. And you know why, honey? You know why? You know why I'm done? I go, because they never come to me. There's nothing. There's nothing to what I've been seeing. They're just satellites grouped together. I go, I'm not seeing anything. I want to see, and at the time that Mexico UFO fleet came around, and I said, that's what I want to see. I said, if I saw something like that, then I might believe that the aliens are here for me, which I said, I'm not that special. I go, I'm seeing bullshit. I know it, and I'm in denial. Do you believe me? And she's like, you might be. She says, because when I look at the videos, I don't see the same thing you see. And that hurt. And I said, you don't? She says, no, you think you're seeing maybe a possible UFO when I see balloon. And I said, you know what? I said, I appreciate that. And I see a balloon too, but I am in denial. So you know what? This is bullshit. I'm hanging it up. She goes, are you sure? And I said, well, what's the purpose? So the camera was, I said, I'll charge it for the last time. I put it by the door where it always sat on a chair, and it charged overnight. And the next day, football. I believe it was football on December 12th. I don't know if it was college or I can't remember. But anyway, it was halftime for one of these games. And I took Angus in the backyard and I said, I'm going to water some plants while I'm out here. And I'm watering plants. And by accident, because I told myself I'm not going to look up. I refuse to look up ever again for UFOs. What do you think I do? And I look right at this white dot. And I kept staring at it. And it kept spinning. And it wasn't moving. And I lined it up with the house and this little thing that stuck out of the top of the house like a vent. And I'm like, it's not moving. Shit. So I went inside, grabbed the camera, and started recording this object spinning, like wobbling. but it was slightly moving down like a balloon. So I said, it's a fucking balloon. I can't believe I fell for it, I said. And I said, wait a minute. I just saw a flash in the sky. As I looked up, just by accident, I see flashes in the sky. Mind you, it's pretty clear out. There are some trails all over that are dispersing, making it murky in the sky. But there were some clear patches. And in this clear patch, I saw a couple dots. So I got my camera, started recording, and boom. And I got like 7 or 8 of them at one time. And I said, this is unbelievable. And I yelled for my wife to bring the tripod, and she did. And of course, I recorded 22 minutes of this unbelievable UFO sighting that is more than just a UFO sighting. It was definitely a message. And inside the message, inside the UFOs, and I'm going to show you guys real soon. I just haven't done it for whatever reason. But yeah, I saw the white UFOs. But there were also black ones that I didn't even notice. Were they dark red? Were they purple balloons? Or I know I'm thinking of everything. Absolutely not. I didn't even know they were there until 7 or 8 years later, when big screens got really good in high def. Well, anyway, on that day, December 12th, the day before, I said, I'm done. I go, they don't bring me anything. I wish they would. I said, forget it. I'm done with ufology. It's all bullshit. Well, I said, I wish I saw things like they did in Mexico. And believe it or not, they did. And in the video, you can see these objects. You would have 4 objects, one, and 2 over here. And I called this one an airplane wing, but it really was part of Orion's belt. I didn't notice, but there was another white one just off, and I didn't notice it, just off a little bit, just like the stars in Orion's belt. You got the 2 and then the 1 off. Well, you see one of them taking off just by itself, and the other 4 are just sitting there. And I said, I can't believe this is amazing. Then the next thing I recorded, and you can hear me say it, I called my wife over and I had her look through the viewfinder because she couldn't see it from the ground just without the view, looking through the camera. She goes, how do you see all this stuff? And I videotaped all this stuff, and I go back in the house after it all ended, and we're watching this. And I go and I told my wife, I go, oh my God. I go, this is unbelievable. They're moving independently. This is unbelievable. And I sped it up, slowed it down, did all that stuff. And then I noticed something, that not only were those constellations, or what happened was the night before I said, why don't I want to see UFOs make images in the sky, like show me constellations and stuff like that. They did. The Big Dipper, Orion's belt. Can't think of the other one right now, but there was also a genie's lamp. It looked just like a genie's lamp. Why would you say a genie's lamp? Believe me, it looks just like it, but a genie's lamp. That's me wishing that they would show up. It granted me the wish. And before it was all said and done, I got 3 constellations, the genie's lamp, and the last thing they left me with was a huge question mark. I'm not shitting you. Made out of 9 orbs. Do not question. That's how I'm interpreting it. We are real. That is my very first UFO fleet. There's so much more to that I believe when I put this out the right way, you guys are going to shit. I mean, this is what, now maybe I'm delusional, but other people I showed it to, they can't believe it. They're like, this is unbelievable, dude. How is it you have white objects here and then you have black objects moving in all different directions in very angular positions? Pretty cool. So that was early on. That got me back into ufology. That's the one thing that changed me forever, that fleet sighting, until the fleet sighting in 2006, which, by the way, was the same type of deal. In 2006, my wife and I moved far away, 40 miles away from where I was seeing all this stuff. And believe me, I didn't want to move. I fought it because I knew moving might mean I never see anything again. And I'm not going to drive 45 miles every night. But we moved. You know, we were just starting our new lives out. We bought a nice big house and moved far away we were the first house in this place, just like my parents did in 1981, 82. So we were the first house, and it was great for a little while. I had the whole place to myself. And on my show it was 2008. It was the around summer of 2008. I believe it was the first day of summer I said this. And I said, if I don't get abducted soon, I don't know if it's real. And I said, this is all bullshit, man. And I kept saying, but how can abductions not be real if all these people are having them? Anyway, I did my show that night and listened to a friend's after, walked Angus at midnight, got home around 1, and went to bed. And I wake up to a pain in this ear, and it is so loud. Just thinking about it hurts. It brings back the memory of the pain. I can still feel it. But it hurt, and it woke me up. And as I opened up my eyes, I'm leaning sideways, and I see the headboard is lit up. And it kind of reminds me of the lights back here, believe it or not. They have this bluish white. Holy shit, that's the color. Oh my God, that's wild. That is the color. You guys can't see it. It looks different here. It looks more like it does over there on back here. That's closer, but the ones here, that's bizarre. Anyway, that's the light. I see the headboard, and I see a point of light, and I see it. Something's happening right now. Is everything okay? Yeah, I did. Clean my glasses. Why? Anyway, I just heard like 8 messages come in. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'll finish this up because we're almost done. Anyway, I have my head turned and I see this light, and I followed it into the hand of an alien. And the light was, I think, in my ear. And then when I woke up, moved it to the headboard, or it was reflecting off of me onto the headboard. I don't know. But I saw a 3.5 foot tall alien at the end of the bed. You want to know how tall it was? And you want to see how your mind may screw with you? And I think it was this guy. He actually has a laser. Oh, I'm pointing at it through the wrong way. He actually has a ray gun in the hand that I saw at the end of the bed. That's it. That has to be it. But it was gone. But was I dreaming? And I woke up And I know what I saw. I saw the skin glistening like it was wet, but it was multicolored. You know that paint, when you walk around it under a certain light, it changes from blue to green to yellow to blue, green. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. Anyway, freaked my wife out. I turned on all the lights. I actually know what I saw. I saw the freaking thing there. I sat on the bed for 15 minutes after I walked around the house. I came back and sat down, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, man, that was cool." Now the dog's up. He thinks it's 5 a.m. when I usually get up. So I take him out and we go walking across the street into what was a fairway of grass that went the whole street. In the grass, and I still have the photos, I have them on Facebook, there's 3 crop circles or grass circles that are 2 to 3 feet in diameter, right across the street from my house. It's wild. So a couple of nights later, I'm sleeping this way. And I'm not worried. I'm not thinking of aliens like that. I'm not worried. I just put it off as a dream. Now, I only did my show back then one night a week. So I didn't talk to anybody really about it till the Sunday night, actually. So I'm sleeping the other way. And I wake up. And as I'm about to lift my head, because I felt something was in the room. And as I'm about to lift my head, I feel a breath. You know, when somebody gets close and you can feel their breath. You know what I mean? I felt that on my ear, but I heard it say,
"I'll be in your head before you wake up."
"I'll be in your head before you wake up." What? What? And my wife's like, "What?" And I go, "What?" I go, "Wait, what?" And I can still feel it in my ear. And I kept saying, "What? What?" And, and I'm like, wow, this is freaky. And I told her, I go, "I just had a dream. I think somebody said, 'I'll be in your head before you wake up.'" And she's like, "Oh my God, that's freaky." And I go, "Yeah, it sounded like this." And I do the voice for her. And I go,
"I'll be in your head before you wake up."
And I said, "Oh my God, that's the voice. It sounds exactly like me doing the voice." And I said, "What if it was me being put in my own head?" "I'll be in your head, Rich." Hey, me, I'm talking to you. Me? I'm going to be in your head because it actually is me from the future putting my ideas into you, so I will become you before you wake up. Surely you jest. Anyway, pretty freaky stuff. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't think I was abducted ever. I think I had incredible dreams, lucid dreams that I still have to this day, similar, but nothing like as powerful as what those were. But when I started delving into psychics more than I ever have before, I didn't even tell you guys about any of the psychic shit and all that other stuff. This was strictly just based on the possibility of being abducted or having visitation, whatever, because that's how I perceived it. And I think that's what's keeping me sane. But what I could have done, I didn't. I didn't do what Bledsoe is doing. You know, Christopher Bledsoe. I believe that if I could take these dreams and go on all these shows and tell everybody I was abducted, and it would sound freaking awesome, wouldn't it? And the funny thing is, I have 4 of these experiences documented on video because after these little events happened, I recorded myself just an hour later, 2 hours later, about what happened so I wouldn't forget. And I'd like to play those someday. Maybe I'll put that in the Patreon for the patrons. That's a good idea. That's good. I'll do that. I would love to see those videos. I have. I mean, I would like to see how you guys react to them. It's weird. $5 super chat from Adam. I'm sorry, Sam. Sam Albright. You said ear pain because about a month ago, I was having a dream about UFOs, aliens. Can't really remember, but waking up with a bad pain in my right ear. Yeah. And I still have pain in my ears. Still to this day. Since then. Never before. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Sam. Mucho generoso for sure. Yeah, we're still on, Magnolia. We're still talking. I didn't quit. So that happened in 2008. And things really slowed down a lot since then. Because I think I started delving into psychic shit and may have tapped into something, I don't know. But those experiences that I told you about stick in my brain as if they just happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Still having memories of being shrunken down into a small person with the aliens that were in the bedroom. How's that even possible? See, this is what bothers me about this field. I know that I didn't have a real experience. I had dreams. That's why I'm so angry with other people who make claims with no proof, with no pictures, no scars. Then you got the people who claim they've been abducted and have implants, don't want to get an x-ray. Why? Because it'll kill the dream. Some people do get them. Who's going to pull them out? Lear's gone. Who's pulling out the implants nowadays? Who is? Now, I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the chat room as much because to tell these stories, I need to be focused. And if I looked at the chat, I would lose my place. But I thank you for hanging out. You know, I mentioned Christopher Bledsoe for this reason alone, because I definitely could have gotten a career just talking about these dreams. And I believe a lot of people do. Are there alien abductions? I don't know. But people have them. People have these experiences. They're worse than mine. You have the Allagash abductions. That's amazing. The other one we just talked about the other night. I mean, there's so many. It's crazy. But when I did the Ouija board test in 2014 and 15 and 16, 17. Now, I did the Ouija board test and I wanted to contact the devil. And by not knowing what I was doing, because I'm a UFO guy, my throat has never been the same. I still have problems. As I'm speaking now, it hurts like a bitch. I can't do certain voices anymore. Yeah, I don't know if something's wrong with me or what. But yeah, I had I couldn't eat. For those of you who don't know this story. And I was talking about the Ouija board one night in a way that's disrespectful. And I was using it as a tray and I was making believe I was, a waiter. I was using it as a joke, as a prop. And I said, I don't believe in this shit, One thing I didn't do, I tried making contact with the devil 125 times. It's actually 122 with 3 that were different, but you could say 125, and never said goodbye on the Ouija board. Well, from Tuesday through Saturday, it was awful. And when I wound up in the hospital on Father's Day a couple of years ago, they took an x-ray of my esophagus, all the way down. And the doctor came back, asked me if I was a magician. Was I putting stuff down my throat? Was I a sword swallower? I said, what? He said, your esophagus is bruised from top to bottom. See these dark marks here? I said, yeah. He says, if this was in color, they would be purple. You're bruised. So what's happening is your esophagus is spasming, which is making you feel nauseous, which makes you not want to eat, which is why you haven't eaten in 3 days. Wow. So I lost my voice. And Monday night, I was on a show, and I was just there to let everybody know that, I'm okay, because I posted, I was in the hospital. And somebody said it sounded like you had a spiritual attack. It's a long story. I put a cross around my neck as well, and I denounced the devil, and I said, you suck. You didn't show up for me. I wanted to make a deal with the devil, and you didn't show up for me. So I'm saying goodbye to the devil. I put the cross on, which laid right here, because it was the same cross I had when I was 13, and I got it from my communion. My mother gave it to me. I thought I lost it. And when I found it, I thought it was a sign from the other side. Like it's God saying, forget the devil, Rich, put this on and protect yourself. You're going to need it. And when I put it on, I got attacked. Pretty wild shit. And to this day, I still feel it. And that was on Father's Day. What do you think happened a year later on Father's Day? My dog died on Father's Day. 2 years in a row. When Father's Day was coming up this year, or last year, I said, you can do whatever you want. You do not have the ability or my permission to do anything to me. And I tell you what, I did get a little sick, but I was fine. Probably subconscious mind. But that's the deal. That's the story, everybody. So I'm not going to get into the rest, but I've been talking for an hour straight, so I'm feeling a little bit tired in the throat. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out, all the super chats tonight. I appreciate it. Like you have no idea. I didn't get to a lot of stuff, but tomorrow we'll be back. We'll be back. I hate to leave. It's such a nice amount of people here. We got to 135, I think. Corrence is here. Good to see you, man. Roaming and droning, thank you very much. Hey, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Super chats were awesome. Thank you, everybody. Very generous. And moderators, thank you for everything you do. Both of you guys, all of you guys are awesome. When I say both of you guys, I meant moderators and super chatters. Hey, Mr. DB Cooper 77 with the $5 super chat. I may have missed some, and I'm sorry if I did. Thank you, Mr. Generoso. Thank you. And veterans and newcomers alike, thanks for hanging out with Goof On. We'll be back tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, right here on YouTube. And you know how it works around here, guys. You know how I feel. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
I don't know what you're complaining about. All you have to do is go to sleep. I'm not asking you to come with me. I would dare. I know you wouldn't. You're scared of your own shadow and terrified of dear Uncle Gustav. Yes, I am. Well, I'm not. I don't care if he does find me gone. But come, Frida, I beg you. Think about what you're doing. Everyone says he's a wicked man. What about him? Who wants to be good? long. He's doing what's best for us, I'm sure. It might be best for you. It's not for me. I'm going, and you might as well stop arguing about it. And I warn you, if you dare tell on me, Frida, you know I wouldn't do that. I'm just telling you. You know what will happen if you do. Stop it, you're hurting me, not half as much as I will if you